Good evening. All right, so Adventure with Danan here with the Adventure Log and Backroad Ventures. Boom.
I'm Hank.
That's Hank.
I'm Joe Tucker.
Joe Tucker.
Jackie Tucker.
Jackie Tucker.
And me, Liam.
Me, Liam. Tonight we're doing, what are we making for tonight?
Chicken tagine.
Chicken tagine, which is a French word that isn't French, it's Moroccan.
That's correct.
Yep.
It's actually named after this cooking vessel. That's a tagine. And that's what we're going to cook in.
Cool.
So I'm going to go ahead and set that on the griddle to get it warmed up.
All right. So what's the basic premise here? We're heating this clay pot up, or pan,
Right,
basically.
the clay pan heats up. That's what's going to cook, but all of the, or most of the flavor that would normally escape through the steam gets trapped.
Okay. Excellent. So the flavor gets trapped and goes back down into this food.
This is a mixture of chicken and onions and spices that are marinated.
Okay.
Then we have cilantro, olives, and something called a preserved lemon. That's made from lemons that are just packed in salt. Leave them for a few days and they break down. All right, to start with, I'm going to put a little olive oil in the tagine. We're going to do this in layers. We put the meat in first so that it'll get the most heat and be able to cook properly. And then the steam from the cooking meat will cook the vegetables. So I'm going to add zucchini first in the next layer, because it takes a while to cook. Notice you're just breaking it up into chunks that are roughly going to cook down to something that's roughly bite-sized. And then the next layer will be some tomatoes. All right, let me grab the rest. And we have some cut up olives. These are called Mana olives. There are a bunch of different kinds you can get now at the store. It doesn't have to be a particular type of olive. I like ripe green ones. They're particularly delicious. Now these preserved lemons are odd because you're not using the juice. You actually rinse them off, and what you're using is the peel.
Oh, okay.
But the peel breaks down and becomes pretty mushy eating any of it. And then the last thing we'll just put on top is some cilantro. Now all of this, when it's finished, can be served over a bed of rice, or we're going to use couscous.
Now, and you could technically do all this prep, dicing the vegetables. You marinated the meat at home.
Right.
You could dice the vegetables, have it all bagged, so you get here.
Correct.
What was this called again?
A tagine.
You could get your tagine warm and just start opening baggies, layer it in, and
Yep, that's exactly.
so it's not doesn't have to be a long process while you're at camp.
Tell us now, how long are we going to cook this?
About an hour to 2 hours. It depends on how fast the chicken cooks.
Okay.
That's really the limiting factor. Everything else will break down pretty fast.
Cool.
If you put carrots or potatoes, which you can do, then it'll take a little longer because they take longer to steam through.
Okay.
Now you would put them as the bottom layer on top of the meat.
On top of the meat, yes,
So
exactly.
Whatever takes the longest to cook, put that right above the meat.
Correct.
And then your tomato and stuff, which takes no time, is on top.
Right.
All right, good. So at this
we
point,
cover it up?
Yep, we're covering it up.
There's a teeny little hole here to let the steam out in a few minutes so we know it's working.
Yep.
And come back in an hour or two and we'll...
Oh, so that's not opened all the way through.
Oh, no.
Okay,
No,
I
it's
thought it was like a
sealed.
little
That's
chimney.
the only
So did I.
opening is that little hole right there.
So that little hole right there, that's the only opening in this.
Correct.
That is actually
Closed
fully
right up.
closed up.
Yeah, the only reason for the little hole, according to my friend from Morocco who brought this to me, she said is that if you don't have a little hole in it, then it'll chatter. It'll bubble and chatter, and it can break it.
Okay, cool.
So they have a small
So it's like a release on a pressure cooker.
It's just to keep it from,
All right.
overpressure.
So there you go, cooking with a tagine while camping. And we're gonna take a look at the finished product right here.
Stay hydrated, people.
Stay hydrated. Cheers.
All right, so the tagine I think is done. See the steam coming out of the little pilot hole? Let's see what we got. Wow. There it is. Dig down underneath. See, the chicken is perfectly cooked. falling apart. It's so incredibly moist. Lots of this delicious sauce. And we'll use that with the couscous that we also made. Little pearls. Sorry about the fuzziness. I'm steaming the camera.